Hey there, Kristine Mirelle here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 5 ways to get by in the music industry. Well, that's 10. 5. If you're shy, let's go. Do you guys like my sunglasses? I'm so cool I wear sunglasses indoors. So there. Boom, shakalaka. All right, guys, so if you don't know me, I am a professional singer, musician, entertainer. I am independent. I've traveled all over the world doing shows without a record label. It's pretty awesome. But I was so scared of being on stage. I was so scared of shooting music videos. I was so scared of doing photo shoots. I was so scared of even being on the phone with anybody in the music industry. I'd like stutter over my words. And one of the first times I ever jumped on stage, I totally peed in my pants. And I've told this story a million times, but it was freaking scary as heck. Now I was 12 years old, okay? But still, at least I was an adult, right? Actually, it was last year. But it's scary, and most of us aren't like born to just like be in front of people, but a lot of us have this like big dream of doing music, but we're super shy and we're like, how are we gonna get over this? So first of all, guys, like I'm gonna get into 5 ways to get over it, but just don't overthink all this. Like I get so like in my head, if somebody looks at me the wrong way, I'm like, they don't like me. And you just gotta remind yourself that like most people are so consumed with themselves and what's going on in their life, they don't even really notice what's going on in your life. I mean, even conversations, like have you ever noticed sometimes you're listening to someone and you're really just kind of nervous about what you're going to say next? So half the time they're doing the exact same thing. So anytime that you're, overthinking a lot of this stuff or overthinking any social situations where you're having to be at like a party or you're having to be around people or you're having to network and all this stuff, just don't overthink it. And a good thing here is, guys, right now, like the internet is blowing up artists everywhere. And back in the day, for artists to get noticed and to get discovered and that sort of thing, they had to be at shows, they had to be performing, they had to meet people in person. Like that was 100%, you had to, so you had to be social. So imagine someone who is very shy and timid could be the most talented person in the world and never get noticed. But guess what? It's not like that anymore. So even if you're shy, even if you're scared to be in front of people, this could actually work to your advantage because now you're going to spend more time at home. You're going to spend more time on the internet. You can be promoting yourself. You can learn how to market yourself. You can learn how to build your email list. You can learn how to get your music on all these platforms and, build up your social media. And these are all like essential things, if you're wanting to get a record deal or you're wanting to get discovered and that sort of thing, your numbers are very important. And if you're at home and you're not out, a lot of people are like addicted to like partying and being out and being social animals. You're at home being productive. So you can use this to your advantage, especially with the way the music industry has transformed, where so much of it is online now. So you can spend that time that you would have been spending out, just being with people and talking to people and drinking and just whatever that is. But now you can spend that time at home actually building your music career. So this could actually be a positive thing. And once again, you don't have to be on stages anymore to get discovered. That's a great way to get discovered, absolutely, to be on stage live in person, but it's not necessary. And in fact, even if they do find a great artist, they're still going to ask you, what's your social media followers like? What's your, presence online? And if you don't build that presence online, it's very hard to get a record deal, or it's very hard to, get discovered or just depending on what your goals are, it could be an obstacle depending on what your end goal is. Now, when I first started performing, because I play piano, I used to shake, like literally my hands would shake, my legs would shake. I remember being on stage and being like, at last. And someone from the audience was like, you sound like a lamb. And I was like, I know, I can't make my voice stop shaking. I was so terrified of being on stage. So I want to get into it now. Here are 5 things that you can do if you're shy and still want to be in the music industry. So one thing about recording, videos even like this, if you're shy, if you're timid and you don't want to go out there, you still have control. So I can record this video and I can shoot the same stuff over and over and over again, right? It's not just like one opportunity. If you're on stage, you don't get to hit like delete. Hey, let me rewind and start all over. You can't do that. But on video, if you're shooting music videos or photo shoots, what's great about being on video, talking, singing, performing, any of that sort of thing, you still have control. So I recommend you can shoot videos of you performing cover songs, performing original songs, talking to your fans, live performances, that sort of thing. You still have control over it. if it's recorded, then you can edit it, you can cut it, you can shoot it over and over again. If it's a live performance, you still have control over where you are. You still have control over where the sound, is. If it sounds great, because I know I've shown up to gigs and you're at the mercy of whether they have great equipment or whether there's a great sound engineer back there. A terrible sound engineer can make you sound absolutely awful, even if you're the best singer in the world. So, it's really important to have control of that. So that's what's great about recording. So one, I suggest being in front of the camera. The more you're in front of the camera as well, the more you're practicing, the more you're getting used to singing and performing and talking and, pretending to engage. Now, if you're doing live streams, that's the next step. Live stream on Facebook, live stream on Instagram, talk to your fans, engage. You're going to see that people actually love you. You're going to see that they're not, nitpicking at every little thing about you like you think that they're going to. People want to support you. They're going to join in. They're going to request songs, or they're going to, let you know, if you ask questions, they're going to want to talk to you. So that's the next step. Next step after you do recordings, go into live streaming so that you can get used to engaging and talking and being social with. The next thing that you can do is put yourself in social environments. Now, one thing about being shy and about being kind of timid is you probably don't talk a lot. Now, this can be a really good thing, because if you notice, most people in the music industry always want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about how they got started, where they're from, what influences them, what their talents are. They just want to talk about themselves. And if you're listening, it's natural that they're going to like you. So whether they're an artist, whether they're a producer, whether they're a songwriter, or whether they're a record label A&R, whether they're a record label, whether they're a manager, if you're asking questions about them, they're going to know that that's very unique and very different, and they're automatically going to like you, and they're not even going to notice that that's why. They're just going to know, oh, why do I like this person? Because usually that's because you're a great listener, because you're probably not talking a whole bunch, and they're getting to talk instead of usually having to talk to artists who just want to do this and do this and do this, and you're listening. So that's another positive thing about this. So put yourself in social environments. Know that the fact that you're quiet and you're listening is actually a good thing. It can create a good impression on whoever it is that you're talking to. 3, practice in front of the mirror. Practice the way you look. See how you look. Practice answering questions. Go over questions that you think that people are going to ask you. If you are setting up a meeting with a producer, an engineer, an A&R, a record label, manager, lawyer, whatever it is, imagine questions that they would ask you and imagine how you would answer them, and answer them over and over and over again, so that by the time they ask them to you, you're already going to know what to say. You're not going to be stuttering. You're already going to know exactly how you want to respond, how you want to portray yourself, and you're going to know what you look like because you've been practicing in front of the mirror. You're going to know your body language, practice the way you stand, practice the way you sit. All this stuff is very important, because you want to feel confident that you look good. Because the worst thing is, hey, I wonder if I look funny as I'm saying this. I wonder if I'm standing funny. I wonder if you already know what you look like, know what you sound like, you've been practicing your words, you've been practicing the things that you want to say, then it's just going to come off very, very natural. And you're not going to have to worry about it, and you're not going to be nervous. So definitely practice. Get in front of that mirror. I do it all the time in front of my bathroom mirror. And I also go through interview questions. For myself, I do a lot of interviews, and I do a lot of podcasts, and I do, a lot of television interviews and stuff like that. And that can be, really nerve-wracking too. So in my car, I ask myself questions. I'm sure the people next to me think I'm crazy. That's what I do. I ask myself, things that, I know that interviewers usually ask, and I run by what I want to say. So by the time I'm sitting in that chair, by the time I'm behind that radio microphone, I already have an idea of exactly what I want to say. So I'm not sitting there and I say something dumb, and then after I'm done, I'm like, dang it, why did I say that? I want to redo this again. I should have said something else. So definitely practice. Number 4, you can watch other artists. I do this all the time, and you can do this for anything. You can do this for their performances. You can do this for their body language. Listen to their interviews. See if they've said something that really resonates with you. Maybe they answered something that, is also the way you would like to answer something. So maybe you go, that was a great way to answer that question. I'm going to put that back in my head. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to practice. And in the future, when I'm doing an interview, I know that I'm going to respond in a similar way, or, similar words. Watch the way that they they sing, watch their, if they're sitting behind a microphone performing, watch how they, move their arms or how they're looking at the crowd. If you like something about an artist, you can practice doing something like that. Also at home, if you like the way they walk, if you like the way they talk, if you like the way they dress, whatever it is, watch other people that are successful in this business, and then you can model the things that you like from, different artists, different people, and then you can like combine it all into one and put your own flavor to it. And now you're your own artist with, just a combination of all these other things that you liked in other people. I get ideas from people for fashion, hair, makeup, accessories. I get ideas for, ways to respond in interviews, lyrical content. I listen to songs, I'm like, man, that's a great topic. I want to write a song, on that same topic because that resonates with me and I never thought about that. It's always great to watch other people that are in the business that are successful, take notes, and then you get in front of that mirror and practice doing it like they're doing it, putting your own little flavor on it. And 5, guys, just do it. I love Nike for that. That's like probably my favorite slogan in the world. Just freaking do it, because you're not going to, learn how to become a great performer or a great, person to interview or a great speaker, or you're not going to learn how to be great on camera if you never get in front of the camera. You're never going to become great at interviews if you never sit down for an interview. You're never going to be great at performing if you never perform. You're never going to, hear back from, record labels and A&Rs if you don't reach out to them. It's crucial and it's imperative that you are going to make mistakes. You might get embarrassed. I peed in my pants. I don't know anybody else that has done that. That is the most embarrassing thing in the world to happen on stage, even as a child, So, and I went through it and I went through it and I went through it. And if I hadn't made all those mistakes, I would not be where I am today. And I make a living doing music, and I have for the last almost a decade now. And I do anywhere from 200 to 300 shows all over the world. I've traveled every continent except for Antarctica. And I would never be able to do that if I hadn't gotten on stage. And I've tripped, I've forgotten the words, I've squeaked, all that stuff has happened. And I just keep going. And that's what I want to recommend to all of you. Just go out and do it. Because if I had let my fears and, the bad, things that had happened to me on stage, or the times I forgot the words, or the times I beat on myself, or the times I, squeaked in the middle of the national anthem, or, those types of things. If I had stopped there, I would not be making a living as a musician. I would not be living the life that I want to live. And some of you guys are, not doing what you want to do right now. You have dreams of being a musician. So I would just encourage you to practice these 5 things. Practice getting out there, practice in front of the mirror, watch those artists, and just go out there and do it. Force yourself to put yourself in those social environments. And after a while, it's going to come natural to you. It's going to come where you're not even going to have to think about it, and you're not going to have to worry about what other people are going to think about you, because you already got this. You've done this over and over again, and now it's in your head. It comes natural. You're not even having to think about it. All right, guys, that was 5 ways that if you're shy to navigate through the music industry. If you liked what you heard, make sure to subscribe. And down below in the description, I have some great resources to help artists. I have a new one that I just put out, including a resource of 1,798 record label A&Rs, direct contacts to record labels, managers, publishers, lawyers. These are all key decision makers in the music industry that you can send your music to. If you know anything about A&Rs, their job is to find entertainment, find new artists, find great music, and sign them to the record labels that they represent. So it's very important that you get your music in front of the right people. So if you want that list, it's almost 2,000 record label A&Rs, record labels, managers, lawyers, publishers. Check the description below so you can get it for you. You can get their music in front of these key people. All right, everybody, good luck. I'll see you on the next one.